YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Apollos Harris, aka the Medusa, coming at y'all once again. Hey, if this is your first time tuning in, make sure that you doggone hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I post up new content. Hey, today's show, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that it's the show of all shows, because I'm pretty sure that the ignorant ass social media or the social media or multi-European devils in action is actually really going to give you one. And just for the simple fact, this is something that for the most part I've always believed, right? But for the most part I didn't actually really connect the numbers, right? But since I have kept connected the numbers, like my man Zachary K. Hubbard on his channel, and if you hadn't checked out his channel, go ahead, do that, because that's one bad motherfucker. So in either case, let's actually really get into the meat and bones of this. I'm doing this show due to the simple fact that even prior to what Zachary Hubbard has taught a lot of y'all, right? I've always had feelings about certain events, how it happened, and why it happened, right? So, with this being said, tonight's topic, Cam Newton is the son of Black Panther civil rights activist Huey P. Newton. And then here it is, I got some dates here. If you actually really look at the day, or so-called day, that Huey P. Newton was assassinated. August 22nd, 1989. Right? That's when he was assassinated. And then Cam Newton, quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, which I'm pretty sure that my man Zach already really pinpointed this shit out. Right? But the thing about it though is this. He was born May 11th of the same year. Right? You know, so you take May 11th from August 22nd, you do the days, do the math, and you got it. So, for the most part, right, those of y'all that actually really don't follow this guy, right, just look at it like this. Cam Newton is a Carolina Panther. He's a quarterback, so he leads the team. Huey P. Newton, a Black Panther, so-called civil rights movement, or shoeshine boy, right, was a part of the Black Panther movement. Super Bowl 50 happens, and we already know what the halftime show consisted of. Beyonce coming out there in a whole militant uniform, for the most part making a mockery, which for the most part, that's what the fuck she was supposed to do, because when you're in the industry, that's what the fuck you do. Huey P. was part of the industry, right? But then once you actually really get out of the grain or go against the grain, then you got to pay the price. That's what happened to Huey P. But just know that he planted his seed beforehand. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of public enemy fight the power in this. And you go back and look at the doggone research on the actual day that Fight the Power was released. It was released, unless these motherfuckers is lying, right? Fight the Power was actually released July 4th, 1989, right? Roughly a month and some change before Huey P. Newton was actually really assassinated, where they came up with this song. And then if you actually really look at the halftime show of that particular Super Bowl, what did Beyonce do? Came out there and all of that militant shit, right? The Black Panther Party bullshit, where motherfuckers is actually really, for the most part, falling behind what the fuck Malcolm X taught, Martin Luther King taught, Marcus Garvey taught, that whole back to Africa bullshit. But the thing about it though is this: I told y'all that Africa is not a goddamn country. It is a continent, right? So when I hear motherfuckers like goddamn Umar Johnson talk about, oh, you're a Pan-Africanist, that you're the best school psychologist or the greatest Pan-Africanist. So my question to you, my brother, since you know so goddamn much, do you actually really realize that Africa is an actual continent, not a goddamn country? Because there's many countries in Africa. So when you sit up here and say that you are Pan-Africanist, what country are you speaking of? But I already did a show on that. So my whole deal is this: Fight the Power was released July 4th, 1989. Right? Huey P. Newton was assassinated, or so-called assassinated, August 22nd of the same year. And then how about his son, Cam Newton, was born May 5th of the same year. Or as my man would say, 11-5-115, which is 55, which Super Bowl 55 is coming up. 2 black quarterbacks will be in that. One will represent the Cowboys, one will represent the Indians. Right? So next year's Super Bowl will be the ultimate black on black crime, because they both fighting for bullshit, just like your normal gang person, right? The Crips and the Bloods will be the name of Super Bowl 55. Why? Because of the pentagram. 5-figured Crips and the Bloods, right? Dallas Cowboys is blue, Kansas City Chiefs is red. Crips and Bloods all goddamn day long. Right? So they finna put the niggas on the ultimate stage. Says you motherfuckers has been hollering about all goddamn day long. Hey, we ain't never on TV doing something positive. But then when you actually really look at shows like Blackish, which is not positive, when you look at shows like How to Get Away with Murder, it's not positive. AKA the Crips and the Bloods, because whether a Blood do a criminal act, they gotta go to the lawyer, right? Or if a Blood do a criminal act, they gotta go to the goddamn lawyer. So I'm just telling you right now, black people, so-called black people, have been hooping and hollering all goddamn day long. Oh, we ain't never on TV. Oh, we want to show our acts too. So guess what? You finna show your act in the next Super Bowl. Black on black crime. Y'all failed with this last one because quiet as it's kept, Garoppolo, an Italian, right? Black person. It was black on black then. The early stages. And as time progressed, that was season 1, if you actually really want to look at it that way. So season 2 is finna be better than season 1. That's how these motherfuckers do it. Because the thing about it though is this, people. When you do a show or a series of a show, or even if you do a movie, right? The pilot series is what is yet to come. Or a pilot movie is what is yet to come. Right? So now that the NFL has looked at it and said, okay, we like this. Why the fuck you think a lot of motherfuckers ain't really too fucked up about Tom Brady and Drew Brees? But then when you actually really look at it, Brady, Brees, 2 and 2, 22. One of the Masonic numbers. One of them Masonic numbers. It's too goddamn easy to see this shit, people. But I got it. Y'all too busy looking at The Walking Dead, constantly getting a headshot, and y'all ain't realizing it. Plain and simple. How dumb can you really, truly be? Seriously, people. I call myself the Medusa for a reason. And now that I actually really think about it, people do evolve or change. So I'm almost about ready to say I want to change my name from Medusa to something else. Because all of this is nothing more than a matter of opinion. Because I look at it like this. Who told you that you was ugly? Who said that once you look at me, you gonna turn into stone? Right? But then I go back and look at it and say, well, like, hey, once I turn your motherfucking ass to stone, you just died. And if I can actually really resurrect you from a tap because that goddamn stone is soft as fuck and a new you comes out, then goddamn it, I did my motherfucking job for the day. So with that being said, tell your mama, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dan, tell Big Bertha, tell your uncle, tell your auntie, tell your grandma, tell your pawpaw, tell the motherfucker across the street. Well, damn, I've been drinking. So tell your next door neighbor, tell the motherfucker across the street, round the corner, shit, tell everybody. Curtis Harris. Or, you know what? Let's just do this. Curtis Apollos Harris. That's my full goddamn name, right? AKA the Medusa, the way of the intercepting mouth. Which means, once you watch this goddamn video, you may have to watch it a couple of times before you actually like really offer a goddamn rebuttal, right? Because anything that you may say, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to say, you know what? I just said that. Thus me intercepting your motherfucking mouth. Holla at y'all.